Hey there, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about practicing with a purpose, and this is what I call step 2 to quick fixing your golf game, and something that not a lot of people know. And through my years of playing golf and practicing countless hours, I've really learned to master this skill, and I can't tell you how important it is if you want to see that improvement or sustain your level of play in your golf game. You have to do this. And you know it's not as fun as going out to the range and hitting 100 drivers in a row, but you can make it fun. And as I'm going to talk you through this step and how to practice with a purpose, you'll really see how you can maximize your time, and that you'll start to see the difference in your golf game once you put into practice some of the principles that I'm going to take you through. And I just want to note that this is really a follow-up to the first step, which is mastering the basic fundamentals. This is where you actually put the practice into it, so that you ingrain it into your muscle memory, and so that it becomes part of your swing on the golf course. So I want to ask you a question. What do your practice sessions currently look like? Do you set goals going into each session? Do you know what drills will improve your game the fastest? Do you even practice drills? And do you make it fun? So if you answered no to any of these questions, then what I'm about to tell you is going to be extremely valuable to you. I want to draw a parallel to the working world. So I work in business, and I'm not sure how many of you do work in business, but you have meetings all the time, and usually they involve some sort of goal or agenda, or at least they should. Now, in a normal business meeting, in a successful business meeting, do you go in and create the agenda and objectives during the meeting? Probably not. You know how it should work, in my opinion, and from coming from the corporate world, you send a meeting request beforehand with an agenda, objectives, so that everyone can come prepared and have an efficient meeting. I think it's safe to say that that's what needs to happen in order for the meeting to be a success. Now, going to the driving range or the putting green or the practice green should be no different. When you're going to the driving range, you must work on something, in my opinion, if you want to see a big improvement. To go and simply hit 50 drivers over and over is not going to improve your game. And I think a lot of people make the mistake that they, just the fact that they're going to the driving range or going to the practice green, they're going to see an improvement, and that's not the case at all. And really what I'm going to take you through and briefly talk about is having an objective, going to the range, going to the practice green and working on something, and have a goal to complete by the end, just like you would in a business meeting. So I'm going to take you through a 1-hour range plan example that I've created, and really this is from my years of playing competitively as a junior and then moving into the corporate world and trying to figure out what things to work on and what drills to use to best sustain my level of play and even improve it. I think I can safely say that the drills that I'm going to take you through quickly and some of the ones I showed you in video 1 are really going to help your game. So the first thing I do when I get to the range is do a couple grip check drills. Now, I took you through those a few of those in video 1. Now, there are some other ones you can use, but really the ones I took you through in video 1 will definitely ingrain a neutral grip into your muscle memory. And I think it's really important for the first, if you're just making the change to neutral grip, that you check your grip before every shot. Next, I check my posture. So I took you through why posture is important in video 1, and it's really important to constantly check it, because it is something that you can get lazy on, because it's not exactly a natural setup. You've got to kind of get the right movement down and the right positioning down, and get a feel for what an athletic stance or athletic posture looks like. So It's easiest if you have a friend with you at the driving range to check your posture, or you could do it at home. You could check it in the mirror. Just pretend like you have a golf club in your hands and take your stance in front of a mirror. So that helps as well. The next is alignment. So as you can see in the picture, there's two clubs down on the ground on the mat where I'm hitting, and the alignment drill that I use actually is if you remove the club that is in between my legs and just have the club lying pointing out at the driving range. This will help you with your alignment, and you want to make sure that the club is parallel to your target line in between your feet and the ball. And what this does is it kind of gives you a marker to check if your feet, knees, hips, and shoulders are all aligned square to the target. And what you can do is you can actually, to check your hips and your shoulders, you can take the club in your hand and then hold it against your hips and then your shoulders, and make sure that both clubs are make sure that the club is parallel to the one on the ground. And then the last drill that I use in this practice session is the ball position drill, which is exactly as the picture is on the screen. And so what I do is the same as the alignment drill. I just add a club that's perpendicular to the club lying parallel to the target line. And then as I took you through in video 1, the proper ball position for each club. So I just move my stance accordingly based on what club I'm hitting. I think I have about a 5-iron in the picture there. So it's about 4 inches toward the middle of my stance from my front heel. And what this does is it, obviously you can't lay down clubs on the course. I mean, you could, but it would look a little weird. So what this really does is it allows you to check your ball position and gives you that natural feeling, so that when you do remove the clubs and when you're on the golf course, that you're actually have, you know, the proper ball position, the ball position that you want. So now I'm going to take you through an example of a 1-hour short game plan that I've also created. And really this just involves the basic short game shots. I have other sessions that I've created, but just want to take you quickly through this one as an example. So session 1 involves, for me, chipping drills, and I start off with chipping drills. So I spend about half an hour, 10 minutes on each of the 3 chipping shots. So the first is bump and run. Now with a bump and run, what I use is typically a 9 or 8 iron. You want to get the ball rolling as soon as possible. So I start off by doing, hitting anywhere from 20 to 30 bump and runs, different distances, but really most of them are just off the green. I'll also do some from the fairway just to get the feel of the different type of lie as well. So that really helps with ingraining your feel for each type of distance shot. And the bump and run is extremely important because in my opinion, I think it's the easiest chip shot. And if you can get it close within 5 feet every time, then you're gonna see an improvement in your scores. The second is the mid-range chip shot, which I use a gap wedge for, and really this is for shots that are 5 to 10 yards off the green, and you don't necessarily have that much green to work with, but you still have have enough to roll it up to the pin. So I do the same practice, hitting 20 to 30 shots, different shots of the mid-range chips. And then the third is the flop shot, and this is by far the hardest chip shot in my opinion. I'm sure some of you have seen Phil Mickelson master it on the golf course and in golf tournaments, but that's through countless hours of practice. So I really encourage you to practice and spend more time on the flop shot, and it's something that can be really useful. If you have to go over a bunker or you don't have much green to work with, having the ball land softly and not chunking it or sculling it, which trust me, I've done it a lot of, but it's definitely a stroke saver in terms of lowering your score. And then for the next 30 minutes, I practice putting. So the first drill that I use are long lag putts. Now the goal of practicing this is really to get the feel of my long putts down, and I can't stress enough how important this is. So what I do is I go to the practice green and I hit 50, 40, 30, and 20 foot putts. I hit about 10 from each distance, and I focus on hitting the ball within a 3 foot radius of the hole. And then the next drill that I do, which is actually me doing it in the picture on the screen, is what I call 25 5-footers in a row. I used to do 100 when I was at the top of my game. I don't really have time to do that anymore, and I'm not as patient to do that. But I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen, but I actually have a chalk line, a blue chalk line that I've laid down. And what I use is I use a chalk line that you can buy in any hardware store. I think it's $10 or something, but you can buy it in any hardware store. And what you do is on the practice screen you find a flat putt, and then you put a tee on the opposite end of the hole, and you tighten the string and draw it back along where you found the straight putt, and then you just flick the string, and it makes this chalk line. And what this does is it gets you square to the putting line, just as the alignment drill does at the driving range, and it also lets you see the putter go back and through along the target line, which is extremely important in putting. You want to have as smooth a stroke as possible. So what this does is it makes you an unbelievable short putter. So I encourage you to get out there and try this drill and try to do 25 5-footers in a row. You may not be able to do it the first time, but I really can't stress enough how important this drill has been in my development, and it has made putting the best part of my game. Okay, so now I'm going to take you through step 3 to quick fixing your golf game, and that's the pre-round routine. And this is actually something that a lot of people don't do, and one of the biggest mistakes, I believe, in terms of not feeling confident on the golf course. And I'm going to ask you a series of questions to really challenge yourself to see if you're doing this currently, and try to tell you what you're missing out on by not having a pre-round routine and doing specific things. And I'm going to give you a couple tips so that you can go out and implement these tomorrow. So what do you do before the round currently? Do you stretch and know which ones are the best? I think through my years of playing, stretching is probably the most important thing to do before the golf round, even more important than the driving range. And what it does is it really loosens you up. And you know, I think we're all guilty of running down to the first tee and teeing off, and you know, taking a couple holes to get ready to get back into the swing of things, and take a couple double bogeys. But it's really stretching works to minimize that, and really really gets you off to a better start. Do you know what drills to do to best prepare you for the round ahead? Now, there are a couple drills that you can do that will really maximize your potential for the round ahead, and I'm gonna give you a couple of those. But really, what you can do is you know, not a lot of people know is practice some drills that I've already shared with you earlier in the video to really get you loosened up, but also to fine tune your game. And it's kind of like a piano, you know, you fine tune it, and then before your performance, so that you're ready to go to the best of your ability, and you're gonna hopefully play the best by preparing properly. Do you go to the driving range? And if so, do you know what to do and how it's different than a practice session? So before the round, you know, there's different things you should be focusing on versus a practice session, and I'm gonna highlight one of those differences. But really important question. And then the same goes for the practice green. Do you go to the practice green even? And if so, do you know what to do and how it's different than a practice session? So these are the type of questions you need to ask yourself if you want to be best prepared for the round. And it's okay if you don't know some of the answers, and I'm going to take you through them. And then in the next video that I'm going to be sending you, you'll see how you can get full insight into a full program, a full pre-round routine that I've spent years mastering. So I'm going to give you a couple quick fix drills that you can implement tomorrow that I think are really useful and must-haves before you tee off. So the first one involves going to the driving range, but if there's no driving range where you're playing, go to a mat. Hopefully there's some sort of mat where you can hit into a net. And really what I want you to do is focusing on hitting the first 5 to 10 golf balls with your feet together. And what this does is it really allows you enables you to swing smoothly. So if you haven't figured it out, this drill is all about getting your tempo down, which is extremely important when you're playing golf. You know, as they say, swing with ease into the breeze. I think you should swing with ease every time. If you look at a guy like Ernie Els or Fred Couples, they're always swinging with the same tempo no matter what club it is. And this drill really gets you into the feel and the mindset of having a smooth tempo. So once you've hit 5 to 10 balls with your feet together and you feel confident that your tempo is improving, alternate hitting with your feet together in a regular stance. As I said, your chances of hitting the ball in the fairway throughout the whole day, but especially off the first tee, will greatly improve. And I put in here, don't tell your friends this drill, especially if you're playing a match or you're playing a long drive contest in the first hole, because I guarantee you, you're going to hit it better and notice a huge improvement. The next quick fix drill is a small one and takes only a couple minutes, but it's something that I've really put into practice, and it's made a huge difference for me. So before I go to the first tee, the last thing I do is I hit 2 to 3 putts into the hole from 2 feet away. Now this may seem kind of silly, but what it does is it actually builds your visual confidence, and subconsciously, subconsciously, the golf game is really all about confidence. I know consciously as well, but if you're subconsciously confident and you've kind of trained your mind to say, okay, well, I can hit the ball into the hole, and you're used to seeing it go in the hole, then those results are then going to be reflected on the golf course. And if you do nothing else but this drill, you probably won't see that much of an improvement. But just by literally doing this drill, and on top of some of the other putting drills that I shared with you earlier in the video, you're going to notice a significant improvement in your putting, and something that not a lot of people know, but something that I know that a lot of pros do this before they go out and play their rounds. So hopefully this helps you as well. So that's it for the 3 steps of the quick fixing your golf game. And I want you to stay tuned for video number 3. And in video 3, I'm going to talk you through how you can improve your golf game without spending thousands of dollars on lessons and equipment. So I really hope you've liked what I've taken you through so far. I really think you're going to love what I'm going to share with you in video 3. I've spent a long time creating this program and this system to really help golfers who lead full-time lives and really can't focus that much time on golf, to really improve their golf game without spending thousands of dollars on lessons that you end up that are going to go to waste because you don't have time to actually go through with the golf professional's recommendations, and then really get you away from buying that new $500 driver because you think it's going to make a huge difference. So I'm really looking forward to taking you through video 3, and so make sure you check your email, and that will be coming to you shortly. Okay, so that's it for video 2. I really hope you liked what I've taken you through both in video 1 and video 2, really taking you through the 3 steps of quick fixing your golf game. The first being mastering the basic fundamentals, the second being practicing with a purpose, and the third being pre-round routines. And what I've taken you through is a very high-level overview of a system that I've created called Quick Fix Golf. And I'm really excited to take you through what I've created in video 3. And to summarize what my product does and how it's going to benefit you, it really is the best and quickest way to lower your handicap by 3 to 10 shots in just 4 hours per month without spending thousands of dollars on lessons and equipment. So that's my guarantee, that's my promise to you, and I will be taking you through exactly what that means in video number 3. And so stay tuned, check your email in the next couple days. I will be sending that to you. I really think this is a must-have program and something that I've spent close to 6 months working on, and through my 12 years of experience with golf and playing at a competitive level, I've really leveraged what I know and put it into an easy step-by-step program that it really going to help your golf game. So it's over 90 minutes of online video instruction. There's also downloadable step-by-step guides, but I'm going to take you through all that. I just want to make sure that you check your email, you open the email from me, you click on the link and watch the full video to the end, and because you're my subscriber, I'm giving you a deal you can't refuse. So make sure you check your email, and look forward to seeing you in a couple days.